Talk to the desk people about the air. There's something up.
Just talk to your RN.
Sticky in here. I am sticking, okay? Hey, I'm Meredith, and I always wanted to be a dolphin trainer. But I just wasn't always good at training dolphins.
I actually met Meredith at dolphin training camp at SeaWorld, and it was a lot of fun, but neither of us were very good at it.
So I went into journalism, and I mean, that's a lie, I didn't want to be a dolphin trainer. But I've always wanted to do journalism, so I started working in a newspaper, and I came to college, and I started working for a magazine, and I started doing web stuff, and really I just tumbled downhill into journalism, and it was a great ride.
So we just decided to go with journalism, and so it was really like a downhill fall from there, but it was fun. And we just kind of ended up at SJI together. That's a lie. We actually met at SJI.
And now I realized, after I got my master's degree, that I want to actually be let into a classroom and teach college students. So I teach a class in the college. They actually let me. Which, could you imagine walking in and being like, "You're my teacher"? That's weird. But I always start with a video that has nothing to do with class. That's probably why it's such awesome evaluations. So I started doing adjunct lecturing, and eventually I want to get my PhD at UNC Chapel Hill and be a college professor.
All right, and your speech today was named Peanut Butter Jelly Time.
It was.
How do you relate that back to your
I don't.
spiel?
I just wanted there to be a funny name in the program, and I think that song is funny.
Okay. The two videos that you showed us that had nothing to do with anything, why did you choose those two videos?
You know, I think that kids just need to get pulled in somehow. You know, you just walked in from walking over here, you're sitting down, you're about to listen to a speech. I like to get your attention going, you know, and Dane Cook does that well. So I do that in my journalism class a lot, show like a funny news video or a clip from The Onion or the Snuggie commercial. And you know what, it's fun. Hey! Have a dead fish for him. I don't know what to do with you, because I'm like, I'm doing it right, I think. I've had like a little more practice, I feel like, maybe. But you're just gonna need to sturdy it up, ladies. Hey, this is like, you know, I'm not gonna kiss your ring, okay? And neither is anyone else when you get to college, okay? And you shake a lot of people's hand, you meet people everywhere, okay? If you want to practice your handshake later, let me know. And I'm not being funny, but kind of. Okay, go. You don't want to be. I need somebody. Come on, stand up here with me. Okay, let's do a scenario. You're gonna come into my office and introduce yourself. Okay. All right, we'll walk through this. I'm doing something important for research. Start now. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna. No, I mean, that's it. Go. All right.
Hi, Meredith. I'm Betsy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice
That's
to meet
way better than when you got here. Okay. All right, so we're going in. 1, 2, 3, and then you fade it away. Now there's some creepy people out there. And they do this, and then they shake, and they're talking. Hi, so you know what? I think I've seen you before at the barbecue, and you're just like, wow, this is awkward. Because they're grabbing my wrist and my hand, and we're moving together in a very awkward way. So then you just kind of do the very nice to meet you, and you pull away, the little tap trick. Great job. Give it up for that. So I like to start off on a fun note because I think people listen more when they're having fun. I don't know if I've proven that theory, but I'd like to think I'm correct.
My name's Stuart, and I'm an RA at SJI. I met Meredith in summer B of 2007.
Did you ever have like a childhood crush on Meredith?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I think she does a really good job. I mean, she prepares for this all year, and you know, she's up at all waking hours during the camp, and then you know, she gets great speakers to come in, plans everything. And, yeah. Oh, Meredith.
I hear that you've been to her house and driven her car.
Yes.
Did that influence your position as becoming an RA?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yeah, I think that just my friendship with Meredith really, you know, helped me get into SGI. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known about it.
What about when you were at her house driving her car?
Well, Meredith drives a silver Acura. It's usually parked behind Beatty, which you can find. It's a lovely car to drive. Her house is very clean. Every time you use her kitchen, you have to clean it. Even if you just use the microwave, you still need to wipe down the counters. She's a freak like that. And very nice house. And I actually have a lot of my stuff at her house, just because I've moved around a lot, and so like I just have a bunch of shit there.
So you were just making like a cup of coffee in the morning, you guys still have to clean up after yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't drink coffee, but or eat breakfast generally. But yeah, I clean it up.
Great.
Follow the rules.
Oh my goodness. I became an RA in 1980. No, it's what it feels like. I became a resident assistant in 2004 maybe, and then I just started planning more and more of it, and 3 years ago Bill and I took over as drummers. So it fit into my perfect plan to take over the world, one little step at a time. It's probably one of my most favorite, non-favorite weeks of the year, because I have to sleep on a cardboard pizza box mattress, which I lived in those dorms for a year, and I just don't know how I dealt with it then. But also I get to hang out with students who still want to do journalism, and that's freaking awesome to me, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And what's the big deal about mattress surfing?
Oh.
Everybody keeps talking about that. How does that come in?
You know, everyone gets a little riled up during camp because you're eating sugar and you're in close proximity to each other. So one year, I mean, maybe this was Johnson's year, we stacked like 7 mattresses in the hallway and dove over them and slid. And then slid down hallways, and I really forget if there's any rules. I really don't think there are any, except like don't bust your head open, because that would be my fault. But I'm pretty good at mattress surfing, I'd say. I mean, SGI, my favorite part is Gator dining, absolutely. Those fries, no, I mean, that's not my favorite part. My favorite part of journalism is the fact that you get to witness something and then write about it or record it or take a photo of it and then tell the world about it. And that's so corny, but that's my favorite part of journalism. And like the free coffee you get. And then my favorite part of SJI is seeing all the kids that are gonna be more than I ever was, you know? And that's really, you know, you see so much potential, and I think that's my favorite part about SJI.
You've all heard me jump around, scream, and talk about how much I love my job.
Because you can do those things as a journalist. And I was telling you guys last night, if you want to write about music, Emmy Weiner, who was a student here last year, she was like, well, how do I get published? And I was like, well, call your magazine. And they sent her to a Real Big Fish concert. Like, her and 2 friends got backstage passes and tickets and every album they ever did because she wrote an article about them. You can do cool shit as a journalist. You get paid. So I'm
not married in 40 years, let's get married.
All right, deal. But anyway, so just like look at that, and it's the greatest thing ever.
So, did you ever have like a childhood crush on Meredith?
But I do love Meredith.
You love Meredith?
Yes, dearly.
Why should somebody come to you?
Tim Tebow. I had lunch with him. We were sitting at different tables, but we shared a Quiznos sub from across the room and glanced at each other a few times. So That's the reason why you should come to UF. You've only got one more year to do it, so make it quick. SGI is awesome. Duh.
And I've been here for about 3 years now, and it's pretty much just been like an emotional roller coaster between the two of us. But I think the best way to describe our relationship is that she's like a little sister to me. You know, and since she doesn't have a lot of friends here, whenever I see her, I just kind of give her a big, "Hey, Meredith." But eventually she got annoyed at that and just said, "Mike, I'm not playing your games." And so I just kind of left it at that. But Holly, who I've known since kindergarten, and we've been like best friends, came up to me and she's like, "Micah, why do you always say hi to Meredith but not me?" So I started saying hey to her. And like any little sister, Meredith got jealous pretty quickly. And she put me on lockdown, saying I'm not allowed to say hello or goodbye to anybody anymore. And Holly just kind of like kept on doing it with me until later that day, Meredith kind of apologized and then we made up. How do you feel about our relationship?
I feel really good about it.
Yeah?
I feel like we made a strong connection.
Right.
I feel like we've really grown in the last 3 years together.
Yeah.
You would be like my creepy uncle. No, I'm kidding. You would be like my weird little brother I had to explain to people, I guess. Oh, don't worry, it's just Micah. He's...
How's your relationship with Stuart going?
What do you mean?
You know, just between you two.
So our relationship is a man and a straight woman. It's very Will and Grace, I guess, except
Will and Grace?
we're not as pretty as them, I guess.
Right.
And he's not a lawyer, which would be nice if he was employed as a lawyer.
And I know he spends time at your house and drives your car.
He does.
How's your relationship with Steve? Does that interfere with it at all?
Steve Johnson.
Yes.
It's really hard because my heart's torn so much.
Right.
Because like I have loved Steve Johnson since I woke up on this earth.
Right.
And it's like so hard to keep those feelings inside. You know, like it's actually like a daily struggle for me seeing him walk around with his camera.
Yeah. Who's your favorite camper that's at this table?
Well, since you're the only one at this table, I guess I can sufficiently say, oh, this camper right here, this is number 86.
Number 86.
She always gets her number.
Really?
Yeah, but you can never hear it because it's all the way over here. You guys are such assholes.